Our story continues with a dark image of Ultra Vegito, implanted into the wall of Zeno's palace after being punched straight through the chest by the Grand Priest himself. And with his eyes darkened and shadowed, only a smile and giggle would be heard before... As if an action figure removing himself from his packaging, the God Killer would remove himself from the wall by force, landing on the ground with a light tap until... I haven't felt that punch in thousands of years, dear little brother. Good to know. It's pitiful as ever. As looking up now with his eyes completely red, and now with a demonic line in place of his pupil, Ultra Vegito, or perhaps the devil himself, would now look up with his eyes wide open, staring straight back at the priest who he so unlovingly refers to as his kin. Lucifer! But despite our confusion over whether this was the God Killer talking or Lucifer, Dai would know instantly from the presence being emitted alone, as recognizing his long since banished demonic brother, Dai would continue. It cannot be! What now? But Vegito, cracking his neck from stiffness, would just reply, I'm afraid it is so. I expected more of a warmer reaction to seeing your own blood after all these years. Mother would be disappointed in you, Dai.
Mother?
Just like the day.
Ooh, wait, who's mother? Wait, hold on.
Huh? Mother? It is you! Leaving the priest stunned as Vegito's familiarity with his own family begins to solidify Lucifer's actual return, with him muttering, How could a mere mortal actually bring about your return? God Killer or not, for a demon to manifest into pure evil like yourself, it should have taken millions of years. It just cannot be! I know! But smiling, looking into his hand, impressed with himself, Lucifer would comment, It's true. Those that break the cardinal sins are few and far between. But none so far could ever live long enough or grow enough in power to ever come close to harnessing my strength, to ever bridge the gap between the demon realm and the mortal realm. But this new species of yours, the Saiyans, they are quite something. Their origins are deep-rooted in evil, bloodthirst, battle and murder, conquering planets mercilessly for centuries. And their bodies, they have truly no limits. Perfect for a limitless power such as mine. Limitless? But Dai, angered with both the situation and Lucifer's menacing overconfidence, would retort with his fist raised. Do not get cocky, you vile creature! Do not forget what happened the last time
he called his
you
own brother a
fought
vile
to
creature?
upstart.
Okay.
It was I who defeated you once before, and it will be I who will repeat history again. And this time, you will never leave the demon realm! You defeated me, you say? But the priest saying this would just put Lucifer's back up, as looking at him disapprovingly, he would continue. That's interesting. It may have been thousands of years ago, but I remember it happening differently, younger brother. Was it you? Or are you so conveniently forgetting you had the help of those two guards and Zeno himself? Look around you now, Die. They won't be here to save you anytime soon. As Vegito would then point to the sky, saying, right there, your backup is struggling facing one of these strange Saiyans, Son Goku. And by the looks of it, he's doing just fine. As we would then see a close-up of Goku, indeed continuing to battle both the Royal Guards simultaneously, albeit with a serious grimace of effort on his face. Before Lucif would then continue, and even Zeno, your key to banishing me at all is way too wrapped up in my appearance. He thinks I'm this cool Vegito fellow, too invested in watching the best show possible to have enough time to stop smiling. Alone, you're done for, Die. Huh? As case in point, Zeno's curious face would then look on at Vegito's new look, whispering, whoa, Vegito, he changed again? To which Lucif would reply, smiling back at the Omni King, yes, Zeno. As always, I continue to entertain you. How do you like my new eyes? Woo! To which the typically easily impressed and ecstatic Zeno would then just yell with pure glee and excitement, replying, I love them! They look even better than blue! What else can you do, Vegito? My lord!
Oh yeah, he stopped that.
But no longer being able to take watch of Zeno's communication so freely with his evil brother, Die would suddenly then call out to the Omni King in panic, saying, please, my lord, end this all now! You've had enough fun, and now things have come to a head as I had always been telling you. He is not the Saiyan you so know and love to play with. This creature is one from the past. He has returned, my lord. My brother, Lucif! Lucif? This name suddenly widening the eyes of the Omni King, but not in a positive way, as with a sense of realization, the Omni King would begin muttering, your brother is back? But I sent him away. I sent him to be with the demons forever. So, he has defied me.
That is a problem.
As suddenly with a deepened voice, the previously happy-go-lucky childlike Zeno would give up an angered expression, continuing, my rules are absolute. If you're really that bad guy I'm thinking of, then Die is right. This show ends here. I don't enjoy watching evil. Goodbye again, Lucif. As instantly Zeno would then simply raise his palm up, and with an emotionless look would begin his instant erasure of everything around him, bringing up intense memories for a certain hero. Huh? Zen-chan, no! as Goku, instantly realizing what the Omni King intends, having witnessed firsthand when the god erased Trunks' timeline, would scream out with his hand outstretched in pure panic, yelling, "Zen-chan, please, don't do it! Wait! No!" As in turn, Vegeta too, realizing the commotion, would yell back, It's over! Now that Brat is involved, we can't do a thing! This wasn't part of the plan! No, Zeno. I don't think so. But completely unfazed, to the point of even closing his eyes, Lucid would harbor none of the same fears, instead wagging his finger in the air as if disciplining a child, and saying, "Put that hand away, youngster. If you do that now, you'll ruin your own show. One you've been waiting for the big finale of all this time. And trust me, this isn't one you'd want to miss. You like how we Saiyans change our hair colors and eyes, right? You like just how many different forms we have." Before then suddenly opening his eyes once more with a smirk, revealing, "Well, Zeno, just know I've got one more secret new form to show you soon. But the only way I can is if your little Dai here can even push me to use it." He's bluffing! Immediately triggering the priest with his insolence, as he completely dismisses his claims and mumbles to Zeno, "He's lying to you, my lord. We have been watching him. We know his forms, and you've seen them all. All he can do is turn more and more into a vile demon." Huh? But Zeno, almost not even hearing Dai, would just fixate on the words of the Vegito-shaped devil, as he queries, "A new form? Really? Like, what color will his hair be this time? Green? I like green." To which Lucid, as if knowing Zeno like the back of his hand, would just place his hands on his hips and smile back, saying, "Green? Now that would just be telling and ruin the surprise, Zeno. You'll have to wait and see. But trust me, it will be worth the wait." Wow! I'm sold! And Zeno, now having finally heard everything he needed to know, would light his eyes up, screaming in ecstatic elation with his arms in the air, adding, "I love surprises! Dai, continue the show! You better fight well. I want to see his new hair color."
Oh man, I know Dai is pissed.
And for a
right now,
moment,
bro.
as Dai hears this, there's just a deafening silence, as not even the priest can believe how easily convinced his lord can be. But when we look on Dai's face, the frustration and anger is clearly seen in full view, with a red tinge coming down his forehead as he begins to think internally, "Zeno, this damn child will never cease to amaze me with his short-sightedness. It's to be expected. For decades now, he has thought of nothing but his own enjoyment. Somehow, he fails to recognize just how bad Lucifer's first coming was." But hiding away his frustrations, Dai would soon just close his eyes and give a fake smile, saying in response, knowing there is nothing else he can do, I forget, you always did know how to play Zeno's buttons well. But whether he steps in or not, it is no matter to the version of me you see before you today. Because I am not the little brother you once knew, and nor is my power. As on opening his eyes, the Dai Shinkan
He's using the
would finally reveal
Seraphim
his
powers, I
original
guess.
technique, the Seraphim eyes, the first in all of history. Cyan blue in color, just like Goku's, but somehow far more vibrant and intensely glowing, as if having matured for millennia, as the priest would just let out, behold, a power destined to eradicate all demons, brother or not. Huh? Stopping Goku in his tracks as his own Seraphim eyes react to the appearance of another set, looking at Dai in awe as he thinks, those eyes, so those are the priest's Seraphim. Why do they feel so different? Like on a whole other level. Pretty eyes, Dai. But Lucif, much like Vegito would have, just continues to laugh in the face of the priest, saying to him, how scary though. You'd send your dear brother back to suffer in the demon realm? Don't you think I've been punished enough? I can't believe you finally mastered that little skill of yours. It only took you thousands of years. Before then casually jumping into the air towards the Grand Priest, before slowly descending in front of the Dai Shinkan as he remains still fearless on the God Killer's approach. And before long, now the two brothers would finally be face to face once more, each now coated in a roaring aura as if activated instantaneously on sight of each other. Lucis blood red by nature and Dai's cyan blue, both covered in electricity as each cannot bear to lose sight of each other after millennia apart. My dear Dai. But as a true older brother would, Lucid would soon break the silence and say, looking down, not a day went by down in the demon realm that I did not think of this day, this moment. Do you have any idea the hell that you and that brat unleashed on me? Any idea?
Like I am curious to see how.
Demons I had to slaughter.
Like I am kind of curious to see how Luciv looked before
climbing the
he
ladder,
got banished, right?
defeating each of the 8 great archdemons to eventually sit on the throne as the true devil. All so I could finally one day have the chance of returning for my revenge. For a while, I thought it could never happen, but I'm glad you sadistic gods thought to punish this Saiyan right to the edge. Just exactly what was needed to bring me back finally. To which Dai annoyed would look back and respond, don't bother me with your sob story. You are the one who brought on your own downfall. You are the one who would dare deny the position of Grand Priest and have the audacity to try and take Lord Zeno's position for yourself. You grew too confident in your powers, and it was the right call for Zeno and myself to send you down to reflect with the rest of the demons who dare think they could overthrow our realm. I'd say I'm surprised you managed to defeat the emperors and eventually the previous devil. But through your veins runs a polluted version of my blood, so it could only be expected. You've grown too big for your boots talking to an elder like that. Allow me to cut you down to size. As Lucif, having heard enough, would then nonchalantly activate Vegito's Godslayer blade and swipe up point blank. But with his Seraphim instincts, Dai would vanish before the blade would even get close. Good reactions, Dai. Maybe those eyes will be useful after all. As following on his brother's lead, Lucif too would begin to vanish. Die! Lucif! But all silence and nonchalantness would soon be broken, as in the very next scene, Lucif, still in blue, covered in lightning, would scream, rushing forward at the priest, as the Seraphim activated Dai would do the same back in return. Two brothers about to collide for devastating impact until the scene would shift to another cataclysmic collision occurring simultaneously.
That's Goku and Vegeta.
This time, one between God of Destruction Goku and the current Vegeta. Both grunting with their teeth wildly blared as they push back and forth against each other. And as we eventually see their hands locked with each other, Goku would grumble, "I'm getting tired of this, Vegeta. This feels like a battle that I should have had in the past. We're pretty even. Until I transform, that is." To which an equally frustrated Vegeta would clamor back, "You're more right than you know, Kakarot. In my time, you were holding back a Super Saiyan 3. But if you think that will be enough now, then you have another thing coming, clown." No, but maybe this will. As suddenly,
What's that, Super
God of
Saiyan
Destruction Goku would at least prove some of his earlier words of matching every form Vegeta could know, and instantly turns into a Super Saiyan God.
Okay.
Wait, what are you? Before then, God Goku would begin pulling the prince in by force before lifting his knee high up. Super Saiyan God Goku would knee Vegeta straight under the chin, laughing as he does so. Even the old Vegeta always got tricked by that one. And in the aftermath, Vegeta's body would be sent flying backwards as his body turns limp briefly, and it would seem Goku would only be interested in watching until with a tight grasp, the Destroyer God would grab hard onto Vegeta's leg, stopping him from moving back any further until Kakarot! God Goku would then suddenly toss the prince with all his might, round and round his body, ready to spin the Saiyan faster and faster as Vegeta's face begins to visibly distort from the sheer speed and G-force. But as the prince would scream in disbelief and anger at this version of Goku's sheer strength with just one arm, it would mean nothing in the way of slowing himself down. As moving round and
how
round
fast are
like
they
a helicopter, Vegeta would soon become nothing but a blur before... Yeah! Stay down, Vegeta! As now back to his serious self, with all his intent to hurt his foe, Destroyer God would launch Vegeta, letting go straight into the ground below. And with a vicious crash, Vegeta would land smack bang on the hard surface of Zeno's floor. And in the air, God of Destruction Goku would just float above, as the debris and smoke of Vegeta's fall rises up. But with a cold look, like the god he is, Goku would look down with a hint of trepidation, wondering... It's hard to tell with my limited information just how strong this Vegeta is. Was he just bluffing about how much further he could go? Or is this battle over already? I need to conserve my energy for Vegito anyway. But just as those thoughts would begin to form, Vegeta would dash all doubt out of the window as his power would suddenly shoot through the roof, as his own Super Saiyan God form would become unleashed.
Okay.
And as Goku would watch on, the raging red divine aura would begin to fill the area until... With his arms folded and smirking, the Saiyan Prince would appear right in front of Goku, looking at him with cockiness as he lets out, "You keep saying how similar I am to your timelines, Vegeta. But you should know, you're just like my timeline's Kakarot. Overlooking me already, talking about conserving energy. Listen here, and listen good. You're not leaving this battle conscious, clown! But I do wonder, how exactly did you achieve this form? In your time, you say all the other Saiyans died. So does that mean you achieved this on your own, like I did? Or did you still get the help, somehow? Just like the pathetic Kakarot of my time." To which Destroyer Goku, slightly confused, would just reply, "Help? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I trained with Lord Beerus for years before I could master this form. If you consider that help, then yeah, I guess I did have some." Perfect! But thrilled with Goku's response, Vegeta's smile would widen as he slams his hands together and responds, "You achieved it through your own strength, not the combining of 5 righteous Saiyans. You did it just like me. And now I can respect you, Kakarot. Now show me what else you can do!" But quitting the niceties early, the prince would then instantly shift to attacking Goku once more. I don't know what you're saying, but all that matters is stopping you here and now. Yeah! But just as Vegeta would punch, Destroyer Goku's impressive speed would be on show, immediately appearing right behind the prince. But as Goku would attempt his own counter kicking backwards, Vegeta too would show he's no slouch either. Don't underestimate me, clown! Before with a shock reappearance, Vegeta
Okay, he
would
got him,
swipe
he
his
got him,
arm,
okay.
slamming Goku right on the back of his skull. Ouch! That's the same spot Beerus always hit me! Before quickly, Goku would shoot off, seemingly fleeing from the scene. Now what is he doing? Confusing Vegeta momentarily. Before, like a sports car slamming
is
on
he
its
doing?
brakes, Goku would stop mid-air without the screech before... Enough of this! If you know destruction as you say you do, then show me! As suddenly, both Destroyer Goku and Vegeta would then power up in their palms two strangely purple energy beams that light up the surrounding areas before... Kai! The two would reveal their powering up shouts were actually the first halves of two separate Hakais, unleashing destruction-infused energy beams of pure power straight at each other. And just like that, the two beams would then collide harshly, neither beating back the other, but remaining in deadlock until... in perhaps
shit.
an unexpected sudden explosion, a
Okay.
detonation of pure Hakai would then unleash in all directions. No! Shocking both the Prince and Destroyer as they both get caught up in its destructive luminescence. But through the light, Z would not care, as his battle continues with him rushing rapidly straight for his own foe. As one-on-one, he would fight equally with Goku, who blocks and retaliates as the two fly backwards at increasing speed. But as Goku would block, he would notice things would be changing, saying to himself, He's getting stronger as the battle goes on. I can't keep going just like this. I guess it's finally time. But just as Goku would say those ominous words, from behind, S would finally make his move too. Completely undetected, arriving to grab and disable the Saiyan from behind,
That's not good.
leaving Z to do his worst up front. I was waiting for that, but seemingly unbothered, Goku would just look back as if it were no problem at all until... Finally, turning into his Super Saiyan form, Goku's hair would turn an angelic white, as instantly both Z and S are pressed back and in shock as they sense the mixing of the Seraphim's abilities with Goku's own Saiyan technique. As swiftly turning around, Goku would then grab S by the face, blinding him in that instant with his speed before... immediately
Hey, dude,
slamming
Goku's
a
doing pretty
roundhouse
good, I
kick
think.
straight onto him, sending him flying once.
Like, I mean, these are the guards we're talking about.
But this time, Goku would not then go for Z, and instead fire off straight for S, saying, if you're not going to activate your Seraphim, then I'm taking you out now! Why you? But as S would be stunned by Goku's now enhanced speed, you asked for this! Goku would be right on his tail, his fist pulled back already until... striking the Royal Guard with intense speed and power directly on his eye socket, possibly in an attempt to damage his eye regardless of whether he activates his Seraphim or not. What? Or at least, it would seem as if he did land, as on closer inspection, Goku's fist would be grabbed point blank, and perhaps most unnervingly, S's Seraphim would finally be activated.
Okay.
And actually, on the opposite side to where Z had his, with the guard saying, "You grow too cocky, mortal, just like your fusion. If death is what you desire, then you have achieved it." As suddenly in the background, Z would then appear, ready with his dual arms pulled back, ready to land on the now stunned into place Goku. But Goku, regardless, at the last second, would dodge in time, increasing his power to break free from S and return to safety. With the three now face to face, without emotion on any of their faces, all three would have their Seraphim now activated. The battle of the Elite Angels is only just about to begin, with S saying, "You were right, Z. This Son Goku is not one to take lightly after all. Let us see how a self-taught Seraphim fares against those tutored by Dai himself." And instantly, their hand-to-hand combat would recommence, with Goku in the middle, defending valiantly as the two straight-faced guards attack from all directions. Creating a huge spectacle of destruction, as their collisions alone create a force field of pure Seraphim energy that grows larger and larger by the minute. Eventually culminating in the trio each separating and being pushed back on the ground by the force of their collisions alone, with Goku uttering, "Damn, even transforming hasn't closed the gap enough. As soon as I go up one level, so do they. It's making me afraid to show all my cards just yet." To which S says in response, "You would be right about that, Saiyan. The minute we begin showing our full power, this entire battle ends, along with your demonic master, the God Killer." And Z adds, "Do not get confused. We are still just providing Lord Zeno with an adequate show. And so too is Dai. The only one of you who has any chance of beating any of us is Vegeta, fighting your clone." But Goku, now readying himself, covered in Cyan Seraphim aura, would tense his muscles and respond, "I bet Vegeta would love to hear he's the only one who can win. But you shouldn't be so sure. You've looked down on us mortals for way too long. It's up to us to show you otherwise." While both S and Z2 would then become encapsulated in their own Cyan Seraphim energy, and S would respond, "Yes, yes. You are only one of thousands in our time who have said the exact same thing. But they all eventually end up in the same place." To which Z
Let me guess,
finished
the
his
demon
sentence
realm.
saying, "The demon realm."
Yep, I know.
And just like that, with each of their own beliefs set in stone, Goku, Z, and S would rush in at one another, more pumped than ever. Only for each to be instantly winded by each other. Fist through Goku's gut, while the Saiyan lands a fist in S's solar plexus and a foot straight through Z's stomach. And they too would not be the only ones completely winded, as using some form of advanced angel technique, using his straightened hand alone, Dai would land a strike directly on Lucif's heart, stunning the God Killer instantly as his eyes burst open and he mutters, "What? What is this?" And despite the simplicity of the priest's attack, the Saiyan warrior would be sent flying back like a rocket. All the while Dai would just remain stood still like a statue.
I don't think Super Saiyan Blue is that, bro.
Yes,
by the recoil of his
attack before stopping Vegito with just his foot, erasing entirely the momentum and speed of his travel completely. He would look down thoroughly impressed until with a vicious but perfectly executed kick, he would fling his brother into the air like he was a mere football. Just as the royal guards had said, it truly does seem like there is no hope for any of our heroes. And the priest, looking up, would acknowledge this also, thinking to himself, Lucifer or not, with a mortal's body as weak as this, he will never truly be able to unleash his full power. You didn't think this one through, dear brother. I shall spare you of a quick death and journey back down to the demons. And on having said that, within his palm, Dai would then begin powering up a divine ball of energy that likely could only be one thing. Smite! Before launching a holy blast straight into the sky, aimed directly at Lucifer. And on its launch, as if his evil incarnate soul would react to it automatically, Lucifer would be left stunned. Die! Screaming out his younger brother's name one final time, as his entire face and existence is lost in its all-shining might. But in that very instant, all three of our Universe 7 Saiyan warriors would dodge beams and attacks of their own. Lucifer dodging Dai's smite, Goku dodging one of S's blasts, and Vegeta escaping the destruction of Destroyer Goku's Hakai. With finally, all three now going up a few more gears, with Vegeta entering his Ultra Ego state, yelling, "You call yourself a destroyer, Kakarot? Then show me. Show me the power of your ego!" While Goku, now for the first time entering a Super Saiyan 2 variant of his Seraphim form,
Super Saiyan
would say,
2 Seraphim, okay.
"I didn't think I'd need this, but you two are something else." And finally, the devil himself, with a wide smile, would shout in his Ultra form, "I'm starting to realize just why these Saiyans have such a vendetta against you gods. You truly do underestimate the power of this body!" As Ultra Lucid has now finally
Ultra Lucid. Okay. There you guys have it, bro. I'm gonna give this episode a solid, I'm just gonna say 8 right now. I'm just gonna give it a solid 8, I think. There definitely was like a lot of dialogue and stuff. Maybe it's just because I'm kind of like tired, but I was getting a little tired while watching this. But like I said, I'm gonna give it a solid 8. I think the next few couple episodes, things are gonna get like hyped up. Things are gonna get more exciting in the future episodes. So there you guys have it. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and get these couple of videos out today. And I'll see you guys in a couple of days or next week. I think my schedule should be freeing up here soon, so I think I can go ahead and start getting some more videos out here. But thank you guys for watching. Of course, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace out.